Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for the Sunday. What a Sunday, Super Sunday. Forest against Liverpool and then the North London derby, relegation, Champions League and title. It's all about all three. And if you are a United fan, then you're a Forest fan. How ironic's that? Yeah, we want Forest to get a result today. I don't know whether I want Forest to win. I'd be happy with it. Well, no, actually Forest beating Liverpool's better for us. But part of me feels like a draw. Don't necessarily want Forest to stay up. I think West Ham deserves to stay up, but that's where I am at the moment. I'm allowed to have those opinions. It's been a very good weekend if you are Manchester, because Manchester City obviously won last night, and from Man United's point of view, we've seen Chelsea and Villa drop points. So let's see if Liverpool can drop points as well. Manchester United, of course, playing tomorrow night. We could be in a good position if we get the results that we need today. There are three other games going on at the same time. Crystal Palace against Wolves, Forest Liverpool, Sunderland against Fulham as well, which, yeah, Palace Wolves is sort of irrelevant, isn't it? Wolves are going down anyway. And Sunderland Fulham, yeah, again, mid-table battle, isn't it? Probably going to be, well, I think Robbie's having a good weekend. He's had a draw in that game, so he'll probably be right. I've gone with a Sunderland win. Let's have a look at team news as it goes around. Wirtz injured in the warm-up. I tell you what, for Liverpool, I don't want to say it's a good thing, but for United, it might be. They obviously, I'm speaking a bit like Hugh Grant. That's a blow. At the end of the day, that's a blow for Liverpool. But one must not complain too much, because Szoboszlai is playing as a 10, and I presume that means Joe Gomez will come in at right back. I think that's what they've done. But yeah, I mean, look, more eyes on Forest. Been crap this season. Curtis Jones is coming at right back. Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkez, Alisson in goal. Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike. It's probably their best six. I know people like Wirtz, but I think that's probably controversially. Don't know what Liverpool fans think. I think your best midfield three is Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister anyway. I know Slot is desperate to push the Wirtz thing, but I think they're actually better with that as a midfield three. A lot of people saying we're surprised to see you in the first half of a watch-along. Oh, ha, 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 very good. It is very good. I did have the ice hockey on, but it wasn't as enthralling enough for me to not get the football on with you today. So, yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in as always. Please do share the video. Ready for some big games today. Obviously, we've got the North London derby as well. Yeah, but look, as I was saying, I think the Forest lineup is of interest today, because I think that they obviously need to start picking up some points, and I think that as well. Let me just get ready with the start here. I bet I'm going to miss. Let me get the timer right. Yeah, Forest in a relegation battle with a new manager bounce at the City ground. So, yep, could be interesting. I feel like my camera's a little bit off here. I feel like I'm... There we go. Yeah, I just felt like I wasn't centre. Still don't feel like I'm centre. I'm going a bit like left wing, and I don't want to do that. Trust me, I'm centre. I like to sit in the centre. Thank you. Yeah, so they need to respond, don't they? And nothing major about the Forest lineup. Aina, Milinkovic, Murillo, Williams, Sangari, Anderson, Gibbs-White, Hutchinson, Hudson-Odoi and Igor Jesus. The interesting thing I think about the Forest lineup is that you could argue that their bench is... Could you argue their bench is stronger than Liverpool's with the likes of... Well, probably not. Probably not. Didn't they buy somebody in the January transfer window? Didn't they spend quite a lot of money? I don't know. I think this is going to be very interesting, because if this was Dyche's Forest against Liverpool, I think Liverpool would win. But it's not. Tyler Quarry says, I've got two questions for you, Mark. Where is Pep's next managerial job? And if Arteta bottles the league, where does he go next? Love the show. Well, he's not going to come to Man United, is he, Tyler? So I don't know why you put that in there. And Pep's next managerial job, I don't know. I actually don't know. I still think that he might if he finds it easy, he might stay at Man City because it's always been quite easy, hasn't it? If he finds it difficult, he'll leave. The only reason he's looking to go is because it's getting harder for him, isn't it? Let's be real. Anyway, there are 2 other games going on at the moment. Palace have just kicked off against Wolves and Sunderland against Fulham. We'll keep you up to date with those. But here we are for Liverpool against Forest. And as we said before, if you are motivated by the league table today, a win for Liverpool would actually put them level with Manchester United on in 5th place on 45 points and level with Chelsea as well. They won't be going above them because of goal difference. A win for Forest today would put them above Spurs before the North London derby, level on points with Leeds, and sorry, not a level, a point behind Leeds, and 5 points ahead of West Ham. So big motivation for Forest today. And that's a lovely ball through the middle already, and it could be a goal. And it's a big save by Alisson. And they're looking for an offside, Liverpool, but that was a big chance for Hudson-Odoi. And if he's onside, and I think he was, that's a big, big chance. Caught in possession, Curtis Jones, who is actually playing in the midfield, and they actually are playing Szoboszlai at right back. And I think that's stupid by Slot. Absolutely stupid by Slot. It's an amazing save by Alisson. But Curtis Jones is playing in the midfield, so Szoboszlai is playing at right back again. So you're basically putting your best player at right back. Long may Slot stay at Liverpool. That's what I would say, because I actually think he's really bad this season. And that should have been 1-0 to Forest. It was a big chance. I don't think it was offside, Aaron. I mean, nothing's been said. And it's a bit of a cagey start here from Liverpool. Forest will be up for this. New manager bounces today. You could call it new manager bounce day. Obviously Spurs, Tudor in the North London derby. And Pereira here as Forest take on Liverpool. 2 relegation candidates with their first Premier League games with their new managers. And I suppose it depends what Liverpool we get today. Because when they're off it, they're vulnerable. And when they're on it, they're not. But that was a big chance. Looked to me like he was onside. It was a very big chance. Please share the video if you're watching, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, as always. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, I'm sad the Winter Olympics are over. I've had it on it. You know, like the great thing about the Olympics is that because it goes on for 2 weeks non-stop. When you're at work in the week, you can have it on in the background because daytime TV is shit in the week. Kirkes, good defending by Forest there, and it'd be interesting to see how Forest play under this new coach, because if they're more expansive, they'll score more goals. It's all, for me, the relegation battle, we know what Nuno's about. It's whether Forest and Spurs can start playing better football in these final 2 months of the season, because if they do, then, well, that changes everything. It really does. Love, love changer. Don't sing that. What do you think about the NLD? Well, Nico messaged me today and said, if Arsenal lose today, the title race is on for Man United. I love the positivity. I just laughed. I did a laughing emoji. I think it'll be a draw. I went with a draw in Premier League predictions, didn't I? I think from a title race point of view, dare I say it, I want Arsenal to win, and I'd like to see Spurs really in a relegation battle, because I think they deserve to be. I think they're. I don't think Spurs fans deserve it. I'm always sympathetic with fans, but I think I think Spurs ownership deserve it. I mean, bad decision after bad decision. It's like Man United and the Glazers. We don't deserve success with these clowns in charge. But I fancy Spurs to respond. They're very lucky. I think the biggest thing for Spurs is that they're very lucky that they don't have Romero fit, because Romero in this type of game would be a red card. Absolutely nailed on red card. So you're very lucky that he's already suspended, because he would be a walking red card in a game like this. But I've been looking forward to this. Man United tomorrow night. United stand. We're back. And, of course, a brilliant weekend of Premier League football. We saw Burnley yesterday. That was a great result. And let's see today. These two games, so big in the relegation and the title race and the Champions League race. I mean, Liverpool. I mean, look, in fairness, Liverpool. Chelsea and Villa results are brilliant for Liverpool as well. It's not just Man United. And, of course, if Man United don't win tomorrow, it's not a great result, is it? So the opportunity is there. I think the horrible thing is when you're playing second or third. Like for Liverpool and United, if Villa and Chelsea win yesterday, it just puts a little bit more pressure on you. You're now inspired and you go, if we can win, not only have we won, we've took advantage of people dropping points. And there's 3 different races going on at the moment in the Premier League. You've got relegation battle, you got the Champions League battle, and you've got the title race. I mean, look, the quality of the football in the Premier League this year, not going to deny it. It has been a bit rubbish. However, we haven't had a relegation battle, a title race, and a Champions League race. I can't remember the last time it happened. Certainly not in the last couple of years. So we've had 3 up, 3 down for the last couple of years, haven't we? So it's exciting. La 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 la. But Forest have started off well here. Liverpool have done very little. That's a free kick to Forest. Yeah, Liverpool have done very little so far. Mark, poll, Nico O'Reilly, Young Player of the Year, says Vishal. Well, I will do a poll if we get an alternative to Nico O'Reilly being Young Player of the Year. Because otherwise, you're just saying yes or no. Verts got injured in the warm-up. A few people asking about Verts, injured in the warm-up. So, don't know how significant that's going to be. Thank you very much for your super chat, Vishesh and Tyler Quarry. You can do that through the $sign. We will read them out. And just before Jade asks, I didn't have a Moscow Mule last night. I didn't have an alcoholic drink at all last night because I had a stomach ache, which I'm now happy to report is better. Gibbs White looking for a bit of a penalty there. Anthony Taylor says no, nothing really going on. Seb's got his cup final next week, next Sunday. I mean, to be fair, there is a coming together. When you look at that, that's a foul on the centre circle. Look. I mean, so I don't like those sort of refereeing decisions because on the halfway line, that's a foul. But it's almost like they look at it and go, oh, I don't think that's enough for a penalty. And where's that in the rule book? Like, is it a foul? Yes, it's a penalty. Oh, another shot there from Forest, just wide from Elliot Anderson. They're the better team here. They're the better team here. I would like to see that Gibbs White one again because I just don't really understand why VAR wouldn't say, you might want to have a look at that, Anthony, because there is absolutely no touch on the ball from Gravenberch and he does foul him. Yeah, Seb had a game today as well. They won, I think they won 6-2. So they're going into the final in good form, but form means nothing in a final. Lovely play by Katike. Wins a foul. And Liverpool are skating on the edge, of course. Injuries, I think, might be their biggest problem. I don't know what Verts went down with, but he went down. And Ekatike is down here. Was Seb man of the match? I think the thing about his team is they've just got so many good players. Goalkeeper made an amazing save. I mean, we're about 6-2 up, and they shoot from the edge of the box. It's definitely going in, blasts it, and he just got a right fingertip on it and tipped it over the bar. It was a fantastic save. But look, it's all about next week, the cup final. And I'm glad apparently it's going to kick off at 11. So, I was at Man United play next week on a Sunday at 2. So I don't want to. I would have chose Seb's final anyway, but Wirtz is injured. Colby, yes. I've just had a lovely roast dinner as well, roast beef. Watched the women's curling final. Was very exciting. So it's been a good Sunday. And it's not raining. It's not raining in the UK. You can see on the telly in Nottingham it's not raining. This is the best day we've had all year, weather-wise. Like, it makes you realise what the world's like when it doesn't rain. Can you see the title race going to the last game of the season, says David. I think the game at 4:30 today is so important. Arsenal really need to beat Spurs and Chelsea. Otherwise, I think... People talk about bottling and people talk about mentality. If they don't win today, I think it gets in your head. It's in their head anyway. But the only way they're going to alleviate that pressure is by going to Tottenham and winning and beating Chelsea at home. Because if they do that, mentally you'd go, there's nobody better than these teams. We haven't got to play Man United again. We haven't got to play Liverpool again. We've not got to play Villa again. We've just got to go to Man City. So it's big, big games. Seb to replace Casemiro. He's got a lot to learn. But I don't know. I think like a lot of people who've got kids, I think it's important that your kids are decent at sport. They don't have to be like playing for Man United. I just think it's really important socially that, you know, on a Sunday you can go and play football with your mates or rugby or whatever it is. Just be half decent at it. Because I had people at school who just were crap at sport. Oh, you can do algebra. Yeah, that's really going to get you a pint bought in when you're 18. Matthew Lunn, thank you for being a member for 18 months. Anyway, I'm probably a little bit controversial here, and I don't know how many... Well, you don't even need to be a dad. You could be 15. You still could be a dad. It's still something you could answer. Hold on. Gakpo, good block. I personally, I've played the game. Obviously, my life revolves around football. My daughter plays in an academy, but she's like 16. And she went into the academy system at 12. Obviously, it's different with girls anyway. I see kids of like 7 and 6 in the in academy football, and it's ruthless. You could be a 6-year-old at Arsenal, and at 13 they'll just go, you're not good enough anymore. So you've lost 7 years of being a kid training in an academy, which is relentless. I wouldn't put my kid in an academy at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wouldn't put my kid in an academy until they're like 12 or 13. And people go, oh yeah, but you miss out on the coaching. I'm not bothered about that. I'd rather they played in a decent league on a Saturday where they can express themselves and enjoy it than be playing in an academy where it's, you know, it's so high pressure, it's so drilled into you. Like, I don't want that. I don't want my kid to go in an academy before they're 12. And they may never go in an academy, but I wouldn't put them in an academy before the age of 12 because I think it gets drilled out of them. I think it becomes... I know so many people who've got kids in academies and they fall out of love with football because it's just so relentlessly competitive. And I just think football's for enjoyment. And get yourself in a decent team, make some mates, express yourself and enjoy it. Because most people don't really grow until they're 14, 15, 16. And there's so many late bloomers in the game. Gibbs White is a good player, should play for better team. Maybe Bruno replacement, says Thomas. I think Gibbs White would be decent. The question you've got, and we've seen it with Cunha and Mbeumo, he sort of falls into that category. This is a good break for Forest. Hutchinson, he might go on himself. He's held on to the typical winger there, held on to it for too long. But it's a great cross by Gibbs White and it's headed away by Konate. Liverpool having to do a lot of defending here. The question mark about Gibbs White is, and we see it with a lot of players, is can they go to a big club and be consistent? Because people talk about, oh, Gibbs White's good enough, Anderson's good enough, Murillo's good enough. They are good enough. A large part of it's about consistency at the highest level, though. Head to head, Van Dijk and Anderson. And he's given a free kick to Forest. right on the edge of the box. Yeah, so Thomas, great super chat about Gibbs White. I think Gibbs White is a good player. It's not about being a good player, it's about being consistent. You know, you go to Liverpool, we had it with Ashley Young at Man United. Really, definitely good enough to play at the highest level, but not consistent enough. You'd have 4 or 5 games in a Man United shirt a season where Ashley Young was incredible, and then 30 games where he's average. And at the highest level, you've got to be consistent. How was the game been? Says Arav. Forest have been on top. 0-0 in all the other Premier League games at the moment. 0-0 Sunderland and Fulham. 0-0 Palace and Wolves. Great to have the Premier League back. Sounded a bit constipated there, but really great to have it back. This is a good free kick position. I am doing Spurs against Arsenal. That's the game of the weekend. I wouldn't be missing that. This is a good free kick position here. If this is me, it's probably going in. Top corner. But it's whether these players can do it. What's that sponsor that Forest have got? I mean, I'm not here to... I mean, look, we're not sponsored by Heineken or Foster's or Budweiser or Camden Hells or anything like that. I mean, we could be. You could be featured on the biggest watch-along in football. We're not sponsored by any of those, but I don't know what that sponsor actually is. Is it Billy's or Bally's? User says Forest are tapping at the door. I think Gibbs White's going to hit this. If he goes to the right of Alisson in the top corner, it's a goal. Power, Murillo. Nah. Trouble with power is it's hit and hope, isn't it? I'd have gone with a bit of finesse there. But Liverpool doing nothing here. And the better team is definitely Forest. It's been a good start. That's a bad pass, though. That's a foul. But it's out of the Liverpool team. Any old iron, any old iron, any old iron. There's a yellow card now for a bit of arguing. Well, look, what I would say is Gibbs White got a yellow card there for blocking a pass from 5 yards away. Look, people will moan about it, but technically it's correct. What I was going to say is, you know, let's be honest. We've seen Forest a few times this season. They're crap to watch. Even with Nuno, they were quite crap to watch. This is probably the best I've seen Forest to watch in 18 months. And I think this is what teams want. This is why Bournemouth and Brighton are blessed, and Fulham, because they play football. And you might be mid-table, but you're nowhere near going down. Is that a coincidence that Fulham, Brighton, and Bournemouth are never in any danger of going down, and they play football? I mean, they haven't got the attendances Spurs and West Ham and Forest have got. But they're never in any danger of going down. And they play good football. And then you look at West Ham and Forest and Spurs, Nuno, Deitch and Frank. And it's all quite counter-attacking negative, isn't it? And I think if you're a Forest fan, you'd be quite happy with what you've seen in the first game and a half. I mean, Liverpool are a good side, but they've got them penned in. If this was Deitch, Liverpool would be doing it at the other end and they'd be playing counter-attacking. So this is all being played in Liverpool's half at the moment. Starting Szoboszlai at right back is brain dead. Stick Robbo there. DBX, I absolutely agree. I thought he was putting Curtis Jones at right back. And it's crazy. Szoboszlai is your best player and he's playing at right back. Let me just tell you this. When I coached, I haven't coached for a few years, but when I was coach, if my best player, I'd never put them on the wing and I'd never put them on at full back. They're playing centre back, centre midfield, number 10 or striker. I'm not putting my best player on the wing. unless I've got a bloody good team. And Liverpool aren't a good team at the moment. If Spurs somehow get relegated and have to sell their stars at a huge discount, who are you going to take? That's from JID. I would say Bergvall for me. Vuskovic is an out there signing. I know he's not played for Spurs yet, but he's doing wonders at Hamburg. I think Xavi Simons is a good player. I think Conor Gallagher's a good player. Obviously Van der Ven. Pedro Porro. Kulusevski's a good player, Bain, but he hasn't played in a year. That always worries me. Because he hasn't played in a year, Kulusevski, and I get the feeling that he is a little bit older than we think. I mean, well, it's only 25. Bloody hell. No, maybe I would go there. I mean, that's sad. I thought for some reason I thought Kulusevski was like 30. He's a very good player. It's sad that he's lost a year of his career. .25 and he's basically lost a year. Kudos is good as well. Liverpool need to just try and keep Forest out here and try and build their way back into the game, because as a observer of this game, obviously from a United point of view, I'd like to see them dropping points, Liverpool. Oh, it's a betting company, Ballybet. Right, okay. They've definitely started the better. Liverpool looking way off it so far. And I've said this about Liverpool all season. You just never know what you're going to get. It's all Forest at the moment. That's a decent cutback. McAllister gets rid of it. And there's an offside in the build-up. Man United so need to sign Elliot Anderson. He's running the midfield out there, says Rob. And Gaz says he's still rich, Mark. Don't feel that sad for him. Oh, Kulusevski. Yeah, but I look, I think if I had 10 million in the bank and somebody said to me, you know, you can't do this anymore. You know, you can't talk about football anymore. I'd be like, okay, I've got 10 million, but this is my passion. So I think as a footballer, obviously it's great that if you're a decent footballer, you earn a lot of money, but you're only here once, aren't you? And I think most footballers do want to play. Arteta just needs to do a very simple thing to win the league. Start Odegaard and Madueke for all the remaining games. Their aura is insane, says Rajaf. Well, let's get a little bit of a poll running on this, because we're a little bit late with this one. But NLD result: Arsenal win, draw, or Tottenham win. Start the poll. As I said, I think Liverpool just need to get to half-time not losing this, because I think if Forest get in front at home, they're not going to change the way they're playing. And I don't really know what Liverpool's excuse is here. Talk to me. Don't even need to be a Liverpool fan. What is Liverpool's excuse in this game tonight, this afternoon? Shocking, really. Absolutely shocking. I've got an Aussie in the chat, Dream Motors. Thanks very much for your super chat, legend. If you family holiday in the future, I recommend Margaret River, Western Australia. Best wine tours and beaches in Australia. Honestly, save it, says Dream. Well, mate, if I ever go to Australia, I'll be in the chat asking people where to go. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll tell you where you could help me. I'm in the UK, and I've got a couple of days coming up in April. It's basically probably going to be one night, 2 days, one night, just a quick getaway, and I don't know what to do. I don't really want to go London. I don't want to go too far. Like, I was thinking about York, but York's about a 3-hour drive. And then I was thinking about maybe a hotel spa, but I don't know. So if anyone's got any ideas, let me know. Stratford-upon-Avon. I've been there loads of times, Pete. Stratford's a nice little place. I tell you what, if you ever go to Stratford-upon-Avon, there's a couple of nice hotels. The Malmaison is a good place to go because there's a car park just about 2-minute walk away, and they've got their own car park actually. And Lamb Street has got a couple of very nice restaurants on it. But I've been to Stratford-on-Avon so many times. She'd kill me if we went there. She'd be, oh, not again. Being someone who has given people so many opportunities, what's your opinion on Conor Benn leaving Eddie Hearn's camp? Does loyalty exist these days, says Andy? I think loyalty's a really... I mean, I don't know the story of that, but I think loyalty is a rarity these days. Because people always justify it. And I was having this chat with Robbie a few weeks ago because he's had it, obviously, of course. And it's like people always justify their side of the story. It's always somebody else's fault, you know. And I think that, look, there's no point Eddie Hearn moaning about it because I'm sure Conor Benn will justify it as, well, I'm free to do what I like. Just do what I do. Don't really trust anybody. It's a lovely ball, but Canate, I'm sort of, that's going to be a throw-in. He's not giving the foul there. Weird request, but would you all consider adding the hockey final to this watch-along? Fun watch, and it's the final. I can't, Power, because I haven't got enough screens to put it on. So you could all be watching it with yourselves. I'll put it on at half-time. Go to Stoke, says Ian O'Connell. Yeah, wow, Stoke is the dream. Wigan, Rochdale, maybe Bradford, Milton Keynes. I mean, these are decisions. Jimmy says, what's happened to Isaac? Isaac. Well, he's injured, mate, isn't he? He got a bad injury scoring a goal. I don't think he's back till April. This is shit from Liverpool, though. Really bad. Chester's a lovely place, Mark. That's not me talking to myself. That's someone called Mark in the live chat. Chester is a lovely place. It's probably a little bit too far for me. It's not, actually, it's not that bad. Jesus, he might shoot, you know. Good block by Van Dijk. Got hit in the head. He's all right. Ekatike. I mean, if you've only just tuned in or you're not actually watching, Van Dijk's just been hit on the head with the ball. Slot's getting very angry. Yeah, if you're only just tuning in, it's been absolutely shit. Whew, I tell you what, people say Van Dijk, get up. He's actually had the ball smack him right on the back of the head. It's like King Baylor in Duncan Egg. He's down. It's not as bad as that, actually. I mean, that was horrific. But he did take a bang to the head. I've been to Lincoln, mate. It's a hell of a drive for me. I sang at Lincoln Cathedral, not as an adult. Yeah, if I wanted to go to Lincoln, I'm going to say 3 hours 30. Oh, it's only an hour and 49. How is that? Must be because it's a Sunday. That is strange. It's only an hour and 49 minutes for me to get to Lincoln. Sort of you should just do a circle around where I live. Stoke's well in, yeah. Stoke is doable. Wrexham, Hereford. I've been to Gloucester. Northampton, Luton. What about Cambridge? I've been Oxford's nice. Oh, I tell you what, Oxford's not a bad shout. Still 0-0 in all the other Premier League games. It's 0-0 between Palace and Wolves, and it's 0-0 between Sunderland and Fulham. Seamus said, would you consider buying an electric motor? Mate, if I was being sponsored by an electric car, I would do it. But I've got to be honest with you. And I know this is going to make me very unpopular with the old environmentalists. I've got absolutely no desire to charge my fucking car like a battery or be limited on how far I can drive because I've got a battery car. I just find it easier to go and fill it up and have a full tank. So I'm probably in the minority, but until they come up with an idea where I can fill my tank up as much as I want, then I don't really want to charge a battery. Lennox says that in boxing, is a boxer only one punch away from a coma? A promoter stops calling when you no longer make the money. I like Hearn, but a boxer goes where the money is. There we go. There's always another side to the story. It's a great point, Lennox. Thanks for your super chat. You could stay at the MK Dons Stadium Hotel. Oliver, I mean, these are the choices. You know, these are the choices. Danny shouts out Wasdale Head Pub. They've got rooms in the Lake District near the bottom of Scarfeld Pike. The views are amazing and the food is brilliant. Right, Liverpool on a rare attack here. And it was absolutely shit. And Forest are going to win it back. I mean, Salah may as well be sat at home watching the ice hockey. In fact, Salah may as well be walking around the pitch like this, watching the ice hockey, because there's nothing going on up front for him. Go to Lego World. A lamb lunch. Have you ever been to Buckinghamshire? I'm getting lots of good recommendations here. Old Trafford Media says the fall of Liverpool should be studied. Absolutely terrible here. Got nearly 10,000 watching, by the way. Please do share the video. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. We are currently on the road to 1.5 million, which we're hoping to try and hit before the World Cup. So please do subscribe. Salah with a bit of space. Cross is terrible. If he'd have got that right, it would have been a headed tap-in for Gakpo. Yeah, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, you're all welcome. No matter who you support, daily content here. Yeah, it's a shit cross. Just on the poll we've got, North London Derby result, 40% going with an Arsenal win, 29% going with a Tottenham win, and 31% going with a draw. So even though Arsenal are wobbling, many of you still think that they'll get the result today. It just depends how bad Tottenham are. I don't think Tottenham are terrible. However, if Thomas Frank was in charge, I'd say they'd lose. Just because of how they play. And look at Forest today. If they'd had Deitch, they'd have lost this game. But without Deitch, they've played a little bit more on the front foot. And Well, it's a completely different team, isn't it? Maxim says, which sports did you watch most in the Winter Olympics? Are you surprised that Norway win the medal table? No, because I think Winter Olympics is like having... I won't go down that route at this time on a Sunday, but Norway have probably got a lot of snow. So it's an advantage, isn't it, to be able to practice on it all the time. So Norway, I'm not surprised that Norway topped the table because I bet they, it's the winter a lot there, isn't it? Google Carden Park, you will like it for you and the missus. I went so peaceful, great getaway. Says Heart of United. Thank you very much for your super chat, pal, and your recommendation. And Yusuf says go to Alderley Edge, stunning views and great pubs. Yeah, but we've got family up there, and if I go there, we've got to go and see them as well, and I don't count that as a break. I hate it when you're going away somewhere and family say, oh, why don't you pop in on your way? No, I'm going for a break. Yeah, the sport I watched the most at the Winter Olympics was probably the curling. I mean, that final last night goes on for about 3 hours. So just by sheer, volume, it would be that. I loved it. I want to go and do a video, Goldbridge Curls. I'd love to go and have a go at it, but I don't think there's anywhere in the UK, so I'd have to go to Scotland. He's got to score this time. Oh, good tackle by Van Dijk. It was running its way through to Jesus, and... I mean, this is just one-way traffic. Liverpool have been absolutely terrible. It would be... I mean, what changes do you make if you're Liverpool here? Not even joking. Like, I'd be looking at half-time and I'd be looking at the bench and I'd have to do it. And this is the problem. Oh, Kanate. Oh, he's given the foul. Jesus nearly was in. But I'd be looking at the bench and I'd be going, I've got to make changes here. And you look at the Liverpool bench, Chiesa... Robertson, and then you're talking about kids. Liverpool's bench is abysmal. I just don't know whether they're going to get Champions League football, Liverpool. I just don't know. It's a great tackle by Van Dijk. Jesus was nearly in. But he's got to make some changes here. You've probably got to bring Joe Gomez on at right back and put Szoboszlai into the midfield because there is nothing going on with that midfield at all. Terrible performance from Liverpool, this. I mean, I like it, but... Calvin says it's like Nigeria being good at rainforest Olympics. Is there a lot of rainforest in Nigeria? I think the Winter Olympics is a great idea. And I do enjoy it. Here we go. Hutchinson. Loads of space. Cross is good. Alisson palms it out for a corner. Apparently there is a lot of rainforest in the Nigerian region. Watching YouTube says it's a boring game. I don't find it boring at all. I mean, this is a brilliant performance from Forest so far, and it's great for Manchester United. And look, to be fair, Chelsea won't want Liverpool winning. Villa won't want Liverpool winning. So the way the game's going, you'd almost say a draw for Liverpool would be a good result. And Robbie did call a draw. I can see a Forest win. You'd be there's so much on this game as well because Leeds, West Ham, Spurs, they're not going to want Forest winning this. Why are a lot of Man United games on Monday, says Dax? Because we're shit. Basically, it's because we're shit. If you're not in Europe, you're going to be in Monday Night Football if you're a big club. If Liverpool aren't in Europe next season, which I think they will be, Spurs and Newcastle will be on Monday Night Football a lot next year because nobody watches Monday Night Football. I don't watch it. You know, if it's like Palace against Bournemouth, I ain't watching Monday Night Football. But if it's Man United or Arsenal, I will. Or Liverpool or City. But they're in Europe, so it doesn't happen. Great block by Szoboszlai. I think he's made a tactical shift, hasn't he? I think he actually has put Szoboszlai into the midfield now slot. I hate Monday Night Football. If it's your team playing, I hate it. Another corner for Forest. They'll try to get this goal before half-time. Jason Marsh, hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for the super chat. He says, what about a trip to Bath? Bath's a lovely, lovely suggestion. I am writing some of these down. Nice travel tavern near Watford. I'm definitely writing that one down, Gareth. That's absolutely fantastic. There's a goal for Canada, says Bran. I'll be putting that on at half-time. Crap corner from Forest there. Don't you see that I'm really... Wolves have just missed a penalty against Crystal Palace. No bite with Cody and Mo. Time to move on, says Jordan. Yeah, I think Liverpool have got to be looking at the Diamondes, the Elises, the Anthony Gordons. They've got to change their wing profile because I like Gakpo, but... maybe I'd just seen him playing in a few games where he did quite well. I thought he played well against us when we beat Liverpool, you know, when he hit the post twice. But watching him recently. What about Rodrigo as well? Yeah, good shout. Jamie says, if you want a tour of Bath, let me know. Well, here's the missed penalty. Crap. I'd have saved that. Absolutely terrible penalty, that. Did you see that Wolves penalty? Absolute shite. Forest on the attack again. Can they get what? I feel like Liverpool have defended quite well. Forest would probably be quite disappointed they haven't created that clear-cut chance apart from the one in the first 5 minutes. I don't actually think I'm wrong in saying that, hold on, Forrester on the attack, lays it off, he's got time to shoot, over the bar. I think that was Elliot Anderson. No shots on target from Liverpool. An absolute shite half from them. And if you're interested in XG, Forest's XG is 0.9 and Liverpool's is 0.06. We've got 3 minutes till half time. I mean, the only thing you'd be worried about if you're Forest here is that you've been so dominant. Can Liverpool be that bad again in the second half? And, I've seen this with United so many times. You play really, really well. The opposition are really bad, but you go in at half time with the same score that you had at the start, and you think, oh, I've got to go and do it all again. Still a couple of minutes to go till half time. Salah gets tackled there, but it's about his highlight of his half. What changes would you make? Well, You've got Chiesa, nice ball. You've got Chiesa and who else did I say they've got on the bench? Who's got Andy Robertson? So Andy Robertson's got to come on for Kirkez. I don't know why he keeps sticking with Kirkez. Well, I do. He bought him, didn't he? But I do actually think that Andy Robertson's experience. You're trying to get Champions League football. So I'd get Andy Robertson on, and I think you've got to get Chiesa on as well and take Salah off. I mean, I know Salah's capable, but it's like playing with 10 men. You know, you're carrying a player at the moment. So that's what I would do. I mean, he's already made the change, putting Szoboszlai more central, which I think is a clever idea. A shot by Milinkovic over the bar. But yeah, I mean, I said this before last night after the Man City game when I did the match reaction. I think Man City obviously are always going to be open door to criticism in relation to how they spend money. But nobody was. Wirtz isn't on the bench, so he can't come on. He was injured in the warm up. But nobody. It wasn't like the Premier League said nobody can spend any money in January apart from Man City. Half time, Man City went and bought Guéhi and Semenyo. You put Guéhi and Semenyo in this Liverpool team, they'll get top 4. So I'm not going to knock Manchester City for going out and spending money that they've got in a window that they can in areas that they need. And nobody else bothered to do that. And that might be for financial reasons. It might be because they don't want to spend in January. It might be because they believe they've got what they've got is good enough. But when I look at Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, those teams need 2 or 3 players, and they didn't do anything. Man City have gone and done something, and fair play. Fair play. They're reaping the benefits of that. But I look at Liverpool and I go, well, look, I know you spent a lot of money in the summer, but as a Man United fan, I can tell you, just because you spend money doesn't mean that you don't need to spend any more. We've spent probably $1.5 billion in the last 13 years, and we need to spend another $1 billion because we spent it badly. So, Andy Atherton, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, we agree on Heat, Die Hard, Jaws and The Godfather. Please watch Shawshank's Redemption. You'll love it. After De Niro and Pacino, Morgan Freeman is up there, says Andy Atherton. I can't believe you don't think I've not watched the Shaw. I was winding up people who don't get sarcasm. I have watched the Shawshank Redemption about 20 times. Will Spurs go down if they get beat today, says Lewis? No, because they've got 5 points on West Ham. So they're still in a good position. But that's a shocking half from Liverpool. An XG of 0.06. No shots on target. Forest the better team. Liverpool looking... I mean, explain it to me, Liverpool fans. Explain it to me. You've just seen Chelsea drop points. Villa drop points. You're playing a relegation team. It's an open door to get back in the Champions League. And I'm almost saying, do you not want to be in the Champions League then? Does it not matter to Liverpool to be in the Champions League? Because that performance is shockingly shit. And it's great for United, because if Liverpool are going to play like that, then, you know, we'll get top 5 without even trying. But that is awful from Liverpool. Really bad. And again, they just seem to have this huge problem when it comes to games that you'd expect them to win. I mean, they went to Sunderland in their last Premier League game and they won 1-0. Very, very good performance. You look at their next few games and you go, well, Forest away, West Ham at home, Wolves away, Spurs at home. I mean, you basically got the bottom 4 in your next few games. You should be just pounding the points home. And that performance is crap. Really, really crap. And I wouldn't say they're lucky not to be losing, but Forest have definitely been the better side. if Tottenham do lose today, we know Tottenham got a tough lineup in the next few weeks. But who do West Ham have in the next few weeks? Well, West Ham have got some tough games as well because they've got Liverpool next at Anfield. So, yeah, Tottenham, as things stand, are 4 points ahead of West Ham. Win today, 7 points. I think they're safe. So that's the challenge for Spurs. They need to go and get a win as soon as possible. But West Ham's fixtures ain't great. They've got Liverpool away, Fulham away, and then Man City at home. So where West Ham are picking points up, I don't know. Anfield, maybe. Maybe that's an early call. Hi, Mark. The Flower Bowl in Preston and Cambridge Ice Centre offer dedicated high-quality curling for beginner sessions, around £16 to £20 per session, says Blazing Bullets. There you go. I bet that's going to be booked out a lot over the next. It's like Wimbledon, isn't it? There'll be loads of people booking to play. But look, I like the look of it. I had a lovely steak last night, LFC. It was very nice. Thank you. Very nice indeed. Dutchy Baby says, we've got no pace out wide and the opposition know it. Therefore, everything has to go through the middle. It gets congested and then it breaks down. Well, Liverpool are just so toothless. So toothless. And he never should have started Szoboszlai at right back. Curtis Jones and McAllister and Gravenberch have not been able to move the ball or even play between each other. And the fullbacks, well, your fullback down the right-hand side is not going to whip a cross in. And Kirkes has offered nothing down the left-hand side. So Liverpool just look redundant here. I mean, the best thing that looks possible for Liverpool at the moment is probably a draw. Because they do not look like scoring. Andy Atherton says, I'm stupid. Please refund my £5 for being an idiot. I was quite convincing, to be fair. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Get involved. Don't forget, it's NLD. What a game. I tell you what, if my back will stand up for it, I'm half tempted to stand up for it because I think it's going to be such a fascinating game. This is why we did this channel in the first place. I'm no Spurs fan. I'm no Arsenal fan, but I think it's relegation against title. I mean, imagine. I mean, this is a fan base that is happy to lose Champions League football so Man City beat them and stop Arsenal winning the league. Like, they are so motivated by stopping Arsenal winning the league. And yet today, they don't need to lose to Man City for it to happen. They can beat Arsenal knowing if they beat Arsenal today, I think it probably does stop them winning the league. So, yeah, what an opportunity for Arsenal. We will have the team news as it comes out. Let me just, I'm just putting the ice hockey on. Must be half time in the ice hockey because they're showing snow. They're showing some skiing. Yeah, what are we expecting from Spurs? Well, look, talking about this game, Forest have played completely different to the way that they played under Sean Dyche. And if they're going to play like that for the rest of the season, I think they've got a very good chance. Excuse me. They've got a very good chance of staying up. They've got a very good chance of staying up because, as I said in the first half, Brighton, Bournemouth and Fulham are not bigger clubs than West Ham, Forest and Spurs. And Brighton, Fulham and Bournemouth are never in relegation battles. Might never be in Europe, but they're never in relegation battles. And they all play good football. And you look at Dyche ball, Frank ball, Nuno ball, boring ball, and they're all in a relegation battle. So, look, if this Pereira is going to get Forest playing like that, I think they'll stay up. And if Tudor is going to get Spurs playing a little bit more expansive, they might stay up. And then suddenly you look at West Ham and go, well, Nuno can be quite pragmatic. Maybe West Ham are going down. It's a bit like Man City and Arsenal. Arsenal play pragmatic football and Man City look like they're going to score 2 or 3 goals a game. Gaming Kid says, we are so inconsistent, win, lose, draw, repeat, it's so bad. And yeah, look, I think Liverpool, let's bring it back to this game. Forest are being more expansive. They look the more dangerous team. Liverpool are playing pragmatic. And Liverpool, I mean, I don't know how many goals. I think this needs to be studied. Like somebody said, Liverpool's drop-off needs to be studied, because I look at this Liverpool side this season, 41 goals. Now, Villa have scored 38, but Villa didn't score for about the first 4 games, and Villa don't score loads of goals. 41 goals from Liverpool. Man United have scored 47. Chelsea have scored 48. Bournemouth have scored 43. Even Leeds have got 37. So Liverpool are just not scoring enough goals by a long, long way. And again, I don't know what Slot's plan is, but they've become so pragmatic. They're so pragmatic. Like, they're not playing in the way that Liverpool used to play. Sol Limbo says, Liverpool not been this bad since Hodgson was manager. Well, look, I think... Look at Tottenham. It's one thing not to be winning, but if you're not playing well, it becomes a big problem. And I think that's the same thing with Liverpool. It's one thing that you're not up challenging for the title. I mean, I don't think it's the worst. I think David Moyes did the worst ever Premier League title defence, didn't he? But it's a shit defence of a title from Liverpool. But it's also shit football. And Liverpool fans won't put up with it. Can we close the poll? Well, the poll was for the North London derby. 40% of you are going with an Arsenal win, 30% of you are going with a draw, and 31% of you are going with a Tottenham win. I've gone with a draw in that game. I've got a feeling it's going to be a high-scoring draw. Who was better, Ian Wright or Andy Cole? Mate, ask me anything about the Premier League and you'll probably get the most accurate answer. Ian Wright was better than Andy Cole. Andy Cole was fantastic, but Ian Wright was better. Ian Wright wasn't in the Premier League, I don't think, that much. Might be wrong on that. It didn't feel like he was in it as long as Andy... Well, he certainly wasn't in it as long as Andy Cole. Andy Cole was fantastic. But I'd say Andy Cole was more Alan Shearer. Ian Wright was more Harry Kane. More of a repertoire. Yeah. But I like both, but I think Ian Wright had more to his game. It's close, though. Was Dwight York better than both? I prefer Cole to York. If it's start, bench, sell, York, Cole and Wright, I will bench Cole, I will start Wright, and I will sell York. Liverpool not done that one, thank you very much, from Sol. Unfortunately, the ice hockey is on a half-time as well as the football here. So, not really going to be able to watch that. Van Basten or Ruud or R9? Van Basten's a little bit before my time, mate. I can't actually give you a fair answer on that. Because Van Basten was probably at his best in the late 80s. And I was, sort of 8, 9, 10 then. And I'm not going to prefer... And also, football was very different then. Like, I remember watching England play Italy. Might have been late 80s, maybe 1990, and they had Vialli and Mancini, and I was down the local park going Vialli to Mancini because I was captivated by it. We didn't get to watch players outside of Division 1 at all. So I would always go R9 because I saw a lot more of his career. Good question. Wright was way better. People forget how mediocre those early 90s Arsenal teams were in attack. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll give an honest answer. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? But for me, I think Ian Wright was very good striker. What are we expecting from Spurs, Mark? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know how we'll approach it. I think the way that Forest have approached it against Liverpool, you're at home. You've got to go more on the front foot. That's what I would do. I mean, I don't think you can be sitting back and letting Arsenal dictate the play. I mean, we know Vicario is terrible on corners, so... Batman Channel says, the way Declan Rice spoke in the interview makes me think that there's no chance they'll allow themselves to drop points in another must-win game. Yeah, it's interesting on Declan Rice, because when I did the match reaction after the Wolves game, I actually thought Declan Rice played really well. I think he gets it. He was trying to stop Trossard go down. He was trying to stop Gabriel go down because he didn't want the game to just stop and be elongated. Declan Rice does seem to get it. But then I saw a clip of somebody off AFTV and they were going, Declan Rice, he's not fucking leading, this, that, and the other. I thought, look, maybe he's not a fan of Declan Rice, I don't know, but I've got no axe to grind with Arsenal or Wolves. And I actually think Declan Rice has been probably your best player in this shit period. You know, even against United when we beat you, I thought Declan Rice played well. His job is not to score you goals. I think Declan Rice has been very good for Liverpool this season. I don't think he's necessarily responsible for the points being dropped. But start, bench, sell, Rooney, Cantona and Henry, says Andy. Yeah, I can't really do that because you're sort of pushing me to put Henry ahead of Cantona and Rooney, which I'm just not going to do for red-tinted glasses reasons, really. Sorry, for Arsenal, not Liverpool. Declan Rice would be good for Liverpool, though, wouldn't he? What do you think about Elliot Anderson? Look, Elliot Anderson, as far as I'm concerned, is going to sign for Manchester City. I think that deal is done. What I got told in mid-January was that there was a time where if there'd been any encouragement from Forest, Man City would have got Anderson as well as Guehi and Semenyo. I mean, what a bloody statement of intent that would have been. Basically, the best winger, best centre-back and best midfielder outside the top six, all signing for Man City. But that's their plan. And that's what they wanted to do. But Forest were like, no, that's not going to happen. So I think he's a dead cert to go to Man City. And he's a very good signing. So, yeah. And I know Man United keep leaking that he's their top priority, but you sort of question that, don't you? Why are we doing that? Somebody in the chat just said Anderson's not having a good game. What do you want him to do, mate? I think he's having a very good game. They're dominating the midfield. They're feeding the attack. He probably could have done better on a couple of shots, but ultimately, is that what it's all about for him? Delivery Bridge. Oh, I've got my cup of tea. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Don't forget, it's the North London Derby. I'm going to have a little break after this. Might even do a match reaction. And then we're straight on. Well, I say I might do a match reaction. If Liverpool win, I won't. But if they lose or draw, I probably will. Because even as a United fan, I've got to say, you know, that's football is for us to watch football. And red-tinted glasses aside, that's an absolutely shockingly bad performance from Liverpool. Midfield absolutely getting dominated. And if it wasn't for Konate and Van Dijk and Alisson, I think you'd be in big trouble. I mean, they've played well, those three. They've been Liverpool's best players. Will a woman ever be the manager of a Premier League club, says Jesper? I would say yes. Who's been better between Spurs, Bale and Saka, says Dion? Well, Gareth Bale's better than Saka. Come on. Let's get real. Konate driving forward here. Power. Goes to Salah. Can he do anything? Puts a cross in. And it'll go for a corner. This might be something that Liverpool can utilise. As I said, sometimes games can be a bit like that, can't they? Van Dijk and Konate have been Liverpool's best two players. How typical it would be that Liverpool do absolutely nothing and then score from a corner from Van Dijk or Konate. Thanks for your super chats, Jesper and Dion. Right, let's see what happens with this corner here. Gakpo is on it. It's decent, and it's flicked on by Ekitike, and it's another corner. Can we do Bale against Salah as an either-or? Yeah. I'm always open to a good either-or. So be same again here, trying to do something around the front post. And it's headed away well by Murillo. Ekatike. Szoboszlai, not a great cross that, and Forest will clear that away. And they're on the break here with Hutchinson. I think he wins the corner at the other end. Did you see JJ Gabriel's goal for Man United's under-18s yesterday? What a player we have on our hands. Only 15 as well. I did. Biggest ball knowledge, yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of excitement about it, but all I ever say is, until they hit the first team, nothing's set in stone. I don't think Bale's better than Salah Premier League. It's got to be Salah. If we're talking about Bale, Salah in general, then I still think it's closer than people think it is. Cleared away, good corner fight from Forest there, but Liverpool defending it well. Still no goals in any of the other games. 3 Premier League 0-0s. Sunderland are 0-0 with Fulham, Palace are 0-0 with Wolves, and Forest are obviously 0-0 here. Remember, the Premier League had already broken its record for 0-0s this season in Premier League history 3 weeks ago. In early January, the 0-0 record had been broken, and we've still got 4 months of the season left. So I don't know whether people know that. I don't know whether you feel that, but we've never had so many 0-0s in the Premier League history, and we've still got 3 months left to go. But we've got a relegation battle, we've got a Premier League title battle, and we've got a Champions League football battle, which is great, but I don't think the quality of the Premier League's that high. What are your thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday being relegated to League One, says Game? Well, my thoughts on that are that they were relegated the day they got the points deduction anyway, so it was a case of when, not if. And, oh, bad kick out there. Forest will clear it because Salah is shit. Salah needs to be studied. Like, incredible player, incredible numbers, incredible career. If you're an older United fan, you'll know what I'm about to say and you're going to nod your head. I've seen it before. And some people can't deal with it. They can't understand that a generationally world-class player can become so shit. Because they feel like they're disrespecting the legacy. They feel like they're being unfair. Same thing happened with Rooney in his last 2 years at Man United. He wasn't Rooney. And some of us were like, Rooney's shit. He needs to be dropped. He's not the player. And a lot of people got angry about it because they couldn't bring themselves to say anything negative about a club legend. But the same thing has happened to Salah as what we saw with Rooney in his last year or two. It's just the game's gone. It's left him. He's not that player. He can't do those things anymore. It's not because he's out of form. He hasn't got that form anymore. And that's what's happened with Salah. It's not going to change. He might pop up with the odd moment of brilliance. I mean, Rooney did it as well. Like, you know, you're always going to have certain technique, but he's lost his pace, he's lost his touch, and he's lost his speed of thought. You know, the game left him in the summer, basically. It's not. It doesn't need to be studied. It's actually very, very, very easy. There is no way that Mo Salah of last season would be playing this shit. The game's left him. Wan says, I'm bored of youth team talk. Until they play for the first team, who cares? They are a youth player, says Wan. Clive Parry says, play bench sell, all at their peak. Gascoigne best or Hazard? Well, I'll pick Gascoigne over Hazard. I can't talk about George Best because I'm not that old. All I would say about George Best is there is some very good clips of George Best, who played for Man United in the 60s. The incredible thing to me about it is, right, if you want to watch Mo Salah's career, you can watch 99.9% of it. If you want to watch George Best's career, less than 5% of it's on video. So if we've got clips of George Best scoring worldies, imagine what he did in the 95% of games that weren't actually videoed. It just blows my mind. Like Ronaldo and Messi, everything they've ever done is on video, isn't it? On George Best, all we've got is what he did when the game was on TV. They didn't record 95% of his career. It's mad, isn't it? Same with Bobby Charlton. I mean, to be honest, even if you go into the 80s, Kenny Dalglish, there'll be a large percentage of Kenny Dalglish's career that's not on video because they weren't recording every game. It's mad. But George Best, 95% of his career wasn't recorded. And yet in the 5%, there's genius. Same as Pele. Yeah, but Pele added a load of goals on, didn't he? Like, nah, I'm joking. Gascoigne is not overrated. He clearly didn't watch him. And I'm not talking about Gascoigne for England. I'm talking Gascoigne at Newcastle and Spurs before Italia 90. He was unbelievable. Unplayable. Vert's got injured in the warm-up, yes. Well, look, a lot of people saying boring game. Trust me, bro. If you're a United fan, Chelsea fan, Villa fan, you're loving this. I just hope that Liverpool don't show their quality in the second half because that's the fear. And they just nearly scored there. Salah with a nod back. I think it was Curtis Jones. Got to be careful. Careful here, Forest. What do you think about United tomorrow, Ladios says? Everton aren't very good at home. We were bad against West Ham, but I think that's because we had to play 2 games in a week, in a few days. We should be fresh. Start, bench, sell. UK weather, car breaking down, back pain, says Wan. Car breaking down is bad, but if you've got a phone, you should be okay. You can look at some stuff in your car while you're waiting. Back pain is a pain. Mine's still up and down. And UK weather is depressing, so I'll bench back pain. I'll start car breaking down. And I'll get rid of UK weather, I think. Saka on his day. Ashley Young. Saka, come on. Here's Salah. He's got a bit of space. Crap cross. Apparently New York's going to get 20 inches. You know, you better get ready for that. That's a big load. Yeah, I think United should beat Everton tomorrow. Everton are very good away from home, but they've not been very good at home. I don't care what the weather is in the UK at the moment, as long as it doesn't rain. Yeah, New York weather today is really heavy snow. Blizzard warnings. New York must be a fantastic place to live. I was there in June, really hot. I was there in November, really cold. You also get loads of snow. I mean, you get everything, don't you? I'm happy with that. I would love to live in a place where you get seasonal weather, hot summers, cold winters, bit of snow, you know. I'm worried about this game. Liverpool are starting to come into it a little bit. Forest seem to have run out of steam a bit, which I suppose was always going to happen. When you think about it, maybe Slot played that game tactically. Maybe he knew Forest were going to come out quick. Played Thursday night, didn't they? I think if you play Thursday night football, remember us playing against Palace. First half, very good. Second half, dead. So maybe that's going to play into Liverpool's hands because Forest do not look anywhere near as energetic as they did in the first half, and he might need to use his bench wisely. Frode says Oslo, you get all the seasons as well. Oh, God. It's got a real pain in my back. Oh, here we go. Who's that? Slower than a donkey's fart. McAllister. How slow is McAllister there? I prefer a cooler climate like Canada, says Pete. I'm not going to Canada now. Not after they beat us in the curling. I totally disagree with people disregarding United's youth. JJ, Biancheri, Lacey can be first team players next year. Amas and Vitek, great backup, says Andy. I think we have got a goal, and it's Fulham leading at Sunderland. Raul Jimenez. What did I said Sunderland win. Robbie said draw. I'm having a bad week. I'm starting to think Liverpool might win this. Not with passes like that. Salah's playing shit. I think we might have the Spurs Tottenham team. Let me have a quick look. Should be out. So the lineups are as follows. For Spurs, this is Tudor's first team. And his first game in charge of Tottenham. So he's gone Vicario in goal. He's got Dragusin. They've done it in number order, so bear with me here. So he's got Dragusin in goal. Sorry, Vicario. Dragusin. What the hell? What the hell? He's put Dragusin in goal. No, Vicario in goal. Jed Spence, fullback. I think Archie Gray must be playing at fullback as well. You've then got Van der Ven and Dragusin. And then your midfield looks like it's Conor Gallagher, Sarr, Bissouma, and then a front three of Simmons and Mawani and Polinia's playing as well. So maybe he's playing a back five. I don't know. He's got Polinia, Bissouma, Sarr, and Gallagher. That's four midfielders playing. And then he's only got two attackers with Mawani and Simmons. So maybe he's playing defensive. I mean, I think that's a mistake. Straight away, I think that's a very defensive Spurs side. They have got options on the bench. Richarlison, Tell, Solanke. Still no Pedro Porro and still no Udogie. Still got a lot of injuries. Arsenal, Raya, Sesko, Gabriel, Hincape, Timber, Rice, Zubamendi, Eze, and then Saka, Trossard, and Gyökeres. On the bench, you've got Odegaard, Mascara, Kepa, Jesus, Martinelli, Norgard, Madueke, Calafiori, and Lewis Skelly. Incredible bench for Arsenal. I think Arsenal look a lot stronger. Why is Sesko playing? Why did I say Sesko? Fucking hell. I'm tired today. Sesko Stein for Arsenal. I don't know why I said Sesko. Mark's head's gone. Yeah. Declan Rice plays for Liverpool and Sesko plays for Arsenal. Wait for the third one. Tired Bridge. Tell you what, I heard Varane. I don't know whether anyone else has ever had this. I heard Varane talking about this. He was saying that in his life playing football, he's had so many concussions playing football, heading the ball. And there was one time where he played a game of football and for about 4 days he just had a tired headache. And I know exactly what he means. I feel it now, but it's just tiredness. I'm like, I used to go down the local park in the rain, boot the ball as hard as I can, and head it for about an hour. And I'm like, that's not necessary. I mean, obviously, it's not the same as being a professional footballer where you do it every day for 3 hours, but that's my thought process. I mean, you'd come home, and you'd be like, probably mildly concussed. My point being, do you think we're going to see a game without heading? It's a shame if we do, but Wolves have got a red card. They have. They've missed the penalty. They've had a red card. It's Krekel. 2 yellow cards. And he got those 2 yellow cards in 3 minutes. But we still have only got 1 goal in the 2 o'clock games. It's Martinez who's put Fulham ahead at Sunderland. I tell you what, Fulham are having a very good season. Marco Silva plays some good football. What's going on in the ice hockey? (1-1). 6 minutes to go. Martinez, Jimenez. Oh, there you go, 3. I told you there'd be 3. Thanks for your super chats. Don't forget, we are live for the North London Derby after this. Still about half an hour to go here. Liverpool need the win. Forest need the win. Maybe a draw was always on the cards. They've struggled. They've definitely struggled here today, Liverpool. Hi Mark, should West Ham stay up in Nottingham's expense? Do you think the fans would turn on Marinakas? Also, how did Seb's team do this morning, says Ryle. I think it's quite an interesting one with Marinakas at Forest, because as much as he's made some stupid calls, he's also spent a lot of money there, hasn't he? It's a bit like Todd Boehly at Chelsea. The criticism is fair, but they have spent a lot of money. The problem for Forest will be, and Marinakas, is if West Ham stay up with Nuno, then, you know, you've sacked a manager that keeps somebody else up. Fulham are 2-0 up. Raul Jimenez with a brace. That's a great result for Fulham. Sunderland are starting to tire, aren't they? I did wonder whether that would happen with them, actually. The tiredness of the Premier League. Well, Forest are going to make a double substitution here, and I think these players are... Hudson-Odoi is off. And Hutchinson's off. So Ndoi and Bakwa are on. Don't know much about Bakwa, but I do like Ndoi. Apparently both old firm teams are losing. Yeah, but there'll be late goals there. You know it. Celtic are losing to Head. They've only been playing 26 minutes. Come on. Celtic will still win that. They did play on Thursday night though. Hamza says, I can't believe you ignore my super chat. Lineups are out. 1-3 to the Gunners, says now. Hamza said, Everton will beat us tomorrow, mark my words. Well, I didn't ignore it, mate. I was just catching up. And user says, my Aki went to shit instantly. Villa to beat Leeds and Brentford to beat Brighton. Yeah, unpredictable weekend again. It's hard to predict the Premier League at the moment. I mean, me and Robbie only got 2 out of 10 right last time. And already this week, I've only got 1 right and he's only got 2. So that just shows you how unpredictable it is when we're scoring low on Premier League predictions. Robbie did say a draw in this, though. I said a Liverpool win. Sort of jinxed myself, though. I'm happy if it is a draw. I think United will win because I don't think Everton have got enough goals in them, whereas with United I can see us scoring 2 or 3 every game we play. The key this season is to score goals. Andy Atherton says, sorry, Mark, I just got told off by the missus getting constant banking notifications on her phone. She best be careful if she gives me an ultimatum. That's football or our marriage. Thanks for your super chat, Andy. Yeah, this has not been the first half that we saw from Forest. I just worry about Liverpool if they get that chance. It's another foul there, definitely Canate. Well, surely he's going to make some subs here. I don't think Liverpool have made any. Does Slot just never make any subs? I mean, I know his bench is weak, but yeah, no subs again. Good run by Gravenberch. Good tackle by Murillo. Now, here's a chance for Forest to break. It'll be a good signing for whoever he goes to, Murillo. Very good signing. Still very young as well. It's got to be worth a shot. Well wide. Bakwa. I mean, a point for Forest is probably not terrible against Liverpool. In the ice hockey, there's only a minute left, and it's 1-1, so it'll go into overtime. It's golden goal overtime as well, isn't it? Yar says, Andy Atherton, either or, your misses or Goldbridge. I don't think it's me. I think it's more... this community. Go Canada go, says Snoopy 10. SQ says, sudden death overtime. Let's get the lingo right. Sakin says, this match has got 0-0 draw written all over it. Well, there's been very, to be honest, I'm very happy with the 0-0 draw, but there's been very little in way of goalmouth action. A draw for us is very good though, because with Chelsea drawing, Villa drawing, and if Liverpool draw, a win tomorrow for us means that we've made 2 points on everybody, and even a draw means that we've not lost any ground. Photo says, well, how has Canate not been a yellow card? Well, how did bloody Bernardo Silva not get sent off yesterday as well? Did you see that? I didn't. I don't. I think it must have happened. I don't know whether I didn't see it. Maybe it happened when I wasn't streaming. But he's on a yellow card and he just barges into Dan Burn without looking at the ball at all. You just don't. You don't get those yellow cards. You don't get them red cards for City. Andreas says, do you have it in you to do another 3 years of rebuild with United and United stand, or are you thinking about a successor? I do admire your passion. Another 3 years of rebuild? Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. I would, mate, I would, having seen Man United win so many titles not doing this, I'd be absolutely devastated to stop doing United stand and never see Man United win a Premier League title. That's my ambition, but it's out of my control. Well, let's close that poll. 63% Bale and 37% Salah. And Robinson says, what's your thoughts on Casemiro going to Miami with Messi? What a lovely place to go and play out your career on good money. Why not? Rafa says, what will you do after the United stand? I've got absolutely no idea, mate. Not giving it any thought. So we've got Fulham winning 2-0 at Sunderland. Palace are 0-0 with Wolves, but Wolves are down to 10 men. And obviously it's 0-0 here. Do I think Liverpool can challenge for the title next season, says Tim? I mean, I don't know. I think with Liverpool, maybe you could write it off as just a blip season. However, I still think there's a distinct lack of quality. Like, Salah's going to be gone. You've got to replace him. Look, an out-of-form Salah for Michael Olise would make Liverpool instantly a better team. But I don't know whether they're even looking at a player like that. Do you think Birmingham will get into the playoffs in May? And who do you think will get promoted, says Kyle? I would like to see Birmingham or Wrexham come up, because I think it'd just be interesting for the Premier League to have a club come into the Premier League with that sort of backing and hype. I think it would be great to see. And Duncan says, if United get Champions League, they have to go all out. Rice money for Anderson. Looks elite every time. Keen to see how he does at 6 at the World Cup. Well, there's another few... Well, one substitution for Liverpool, 2 substitutions for Liverpool. Rio and Chiesa are coming on, which probably means it should be Gakpo and Salah. Olise would cost a fortune. Oh, this Luca guy is somebody they spent a lot of money on, isn't it? Forrester just brought him on. Salah comes off with a smile on his face. I mean, I don't know what you're smiling about, mate. You can't just stay on reputation. You've been shit. I still think he has that air about him that he shouldn't be being taken off. I might be reading the room wrong, but when Salah's coming off there, it's almost like he thinks he shouldn't get brought off. He's on loan from Napoli, this Luca guy. Recon guy says, hello, pal. Been a while. Hope you're doing well, pal. Look at Salah. He's always laughing, smiling as if he's like, I shouldn't have been taken off. Mate, you played absolute shit. I think the entitlement there is wrong. I'm a massive fan of Salah, even though he plays for Liverpool, but you can't be like coming off going, haha, what am I being brought off for? Look, my reading of Salah there is that he's laughing because he thinks he shouldn't have been took off, but you know, you actually have to do something to deserve to stay on the pitch. What's your honest thoughts on Yan Diamonde to United, considering he's a Liverpool fan? Well, I think he sort of denied that, didn't he? He said his dad's a Liverpool fan. Phil Reddy says, I don't think he likes Slot and he downs tools. And Frozen Existence says, hi Mark, personally I've loved this season. I feel like every game has so much to play for, be it relegation, top four or the title race. What do you think? Have a good 2026. No, I think there is certainly a... Sorry, McAllister just got caught there. I think there's certainly an excitement in relation to the Champions League race, the title race and the relegation race. However, the quality of the football is not good. And I'm somebody that's very much about the quality of football. And I don't think the quality of the football has been very good this year. Look, you could have the worst league in the world where everybody draws 0-0. You'd have a very competitive title race because everyone would be drawing. Do you reckon that should have been a red? No, not for me. No. I know he's caught him, but I don't think it was a red. Do you think it's a shame what's happened with Salah? I think it's a shame when any great player declines, and I'm sure he's very frustrated by it. And he might be in denial. Come on, Forest, hold out here. We don't want no late Liverpool goal. I'll take a draw. Imagine a world where City get Enrique, Premier League done. Says Games. Sunderland have got one back. Still time for them to equalise as well. 2-1 in that game. Please do a video on Mo Salah. His fall off is not normal, says Hamza. I think it completely is. I think it is. As I say, if you saw what happened with Rooney at the end, it can just happen like that. It can be a light switch. Sometimes with players, it's not a gradual drop off. It can just be a light switch. Boring game? Well, might be a boring game. However, it's a very good result for United. Not going to lie. All three clubs in the top in the Champions League race dropping points. I would not have expected that. Looking at, we've got the North London derby coming up after this. Looking at the team that's been picked by Tudor, 4 midfielders, 4 defenders, and 2 attackers makes me think it's going to either be a very congested midfield or it's going to be a back 5. But either way, it's quite a defensive setup for your first game. I would have had a go, but I don't know. You don't know. You don't know how he's going to approach. Maybe they will have a go. I don't know, but it looks like quite a defensive setup from Spurs. I answered that question from Bobby Boy because he just said, "What's your prediction for the North London derby?" Looks like a 5-4-1. Yeah, Jev. Andy Robertson's coming on. Joe Gomez is coming on. I mean, defensive changes for Liverpool here. Rejecting Saudi's 500 million still in his head. Rejecting such a big money, says Beck, in relation to Salah. Mark, do Ultimate Team RTG. It will do views, says Daniel. Who's in the back 5? Don't see 3 centre-backs. Palhinha has been playing there. Peter Smith says he'd score 30 goals a season in the Saudi Pro League. 83 minutes. Keeper's there. I mean, I think they do get a lot of 0-0s at the City Ground, don't they? Arsenal obviously drew here as well. Overtime Olympic hockey's so good, says Alec. I don't think it's on at the moment, is it? Well, they seem to... for some reason, they've got the bronze medal game on at the moment. I don't know what's going on there. It's not started again yet, that's why. Intermission. Your Lord says, do you see Forest as the final relegation favourite? No, I don't think so. I think the way that they've played today has been a little bit more attacking. I think the problem they've had in the second half is that they played Thursday night and they've been quite tired. I mean, it's been a terrible performance from Liverpool considering they've had a week off. I don't know what Liverpool's excuse is. It's just been really poor. You can understand. Forest in the first half were very good. Second half, obviously tired. And a block from Gibbs White. They're still there. Sangari. Oh, just wide. Sir Lee says, do you think City will be found guilty? I don't know. I actually don't know, mate. I don't think anybody's got a bloody clue. Yeah, Verts picked up an injury just before in training. Four minutes to go. I think for Arsenal it's obviously it's a big opportunity for Spurs with a new coach. Corner to Forest here. But for Arsenal, they need to respond, don't they? Shockingly bad against Wolves. They've got some very, very good players. They've got incredible bench. Hamish says, I'm glad you mentioned Duncan Egg. Great show to wash away the bad taste of the GOT ending. Thank you, Hamish. Thanks for Super Chat. Right, corner to Forest here. Is there a winner? No. Nothing from the corner, but they'll put the cross back in. No, he won't. Another corner. And that's well over here. Oh no, he's done quite well. Endoy blocked. Well, someone asking for a handball there against Liverpool, but the ball gets cleared. Would you prefer City missing out on the league or Liverpool playing Conference League, says were... I mean, I think the question should be Europa League, because I don't see Liverpool or Man United or Chelsea or Villa being anything other than sixth. They won't get caught. So at least I don't think they will. Let's have a look at the league. Liverpool on 43, Brentford on 40, Bournemouth on 48. Yeah, I don't see the top six. I don't think anyone outside the top six is getting in the top six. It's just what order they're going to finish in. Terrible cross there. Kanate's done well. Little cross. What a save! What a save! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I can't believe it! What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Jammy bastards. They should be sponsored by bloody Hartley's Jam. Absolutely ridiculous. Keeper pulls off an absolute brilliant save. Brilliant save from Ekatike. Nico Williams goes to clear it, remembers he's a Liverpool shirt and blasts it into McAllister and it goes in. I can't speak. The most jammiest wins you'll ever see. I mean, Rio does really well for Liverpool. Goes to the byline, chips it up. Ekatike miss. Oh, it wasn't Nico Williams. It was Aina. Aina kicks it against... Oh, my God. What a save. And watch this. Kicks it into the back of Alexi McAllister and it goes in. What a jammy goal. I can't speak. Oh, that's incredible. Well, I tell you what, it's even worse for Forest. They're in a relegation battle and you're conceding a goal like that. You can't believe that. He can't believe it. Checking possible handball. I mean, that'd be harsh, surely. They're saying it's hit his up. Nah, it's gonna hit his back, isn't it? Maybe it hits his elbow. I don't know whether they're going to be able to rule that out. I think it looks like it hits his back. I think you're going to struggle. Even I think you're going to struggle with that. Oh no, maybe it does hit his elbow. I think it hits his elbow. I think it hits his elbow. I can't imagine that's going to hit your ribs. Well, then again, it does look like it hits his back. He's given a handball. They've given a handball. Oh, get in. No goal. Handball. Wow. Big, big moment. Can I just shock you? I love VAR. You know what? To me, it seemed to me that because it hits his elbow, you can sort of tell. Yeah, definitely hits his hand. Why were they showing that angle? This angle was crap. It's the other angle that's better. To be fair, It was the most jammy goal anyway. It was a very jammy goal anyway. So you can't really feel sorry for yourselves, Liverpool, because that was one of the most jammy goals I've ever bloody seen. So you can't really complain because that was jam. I'm not convinced it didn't hit a bit of his back, but you can't really complain because it was very, very jammy. I mean, you could pose the question, what is he supposed to do? It is, look, I can say it from a place of safety. If that happened to United tomorrow night, I'd be fucking fuming. I would. I would be. You know now I've took off my red tinted glasses because obviously it's great for United if Liverpool drop points. Palace have scored a late winner against 10 men Wolves. What is he supposed to do in that situation? Like, you have to give the goal if we're being fair now that it's not been given. What the fuck are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, there's nothing between them and the player, and he blasts it against the player and it goes in. I don't know. My point is, do you not remember Newcastle Spurs last year? Was it at St James's Park? Spurs play the ball out. It hits Joel Linton full on the hand, and they play on and score a goal because of that deflection. And yet, because it goes in off McAllister, who's got no idea about it, you can't give the goal. That's the rule, isn't it? I think if the ball goes in off any part of the hand, intentionally or not, you can't give the goal. But that's the flaw in the system. I think that, look, if that happened at Everton tomorrow, I'd be fucking fuming. I would be fuming about it. But the rules are the rules. The rules are the rules. I can play the game. I can play the game, and I can be impartial when the goal's not been given. It was very, very lucky as well. Ridiculously lucky. But I don't know what you're supposed to do. To be honest. If it's City, it would have been given. I think the USA have won the Olympic gold. Just by the way, if you're interested, they're skating around very happy with flags on. Yeah, they've definitely won it. I just can't believe you said I love VAR. Champers, says Tim. Says Brentford and Bournemouth are going to pass Liverpool on form. Arne Slot, says biggest ball knowledge. Anthony Taylor just wanted his moment. They'd never give that for a penalty the other way. Taylor loves his name in the papers, says Merlis. Everyone drew. United better win tomorrow, says Parker. And hi, Mark. After seeing the big Ange interviews, would you consider him at United, says Basil? Absolutely not. Oh, they've scored anyway. Fuck off. You bloody deserve that. Forest, you deserve that. You bloody idiots. VAR bloody helps you out, and then you go and let McAllister score anyway. It's like they bloody do it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. It's like a bloody carbon copy. Keeper makes a worldie and McAllister bloody scores. It's like the worst repeat ever. Well, they bloody deserve that, Forest. Fucking idiots. You get away with it and then you go and do it again. Anthony Taylor can't believe it. He's like, oh, I've lost my moment now. I mean, it's exactly the same thing. Szoboszlai with the offside. Definitely offside. Forget it. It's offside. It's offside. He's offside, Van Dijk. Definitely. 100%. Miles off. Oh, I tell you what. Liverpool fans are going to be retching. They've had 2 goals disallowed. I don't think... Does Alexi McAllister know? Mate, it's offside. Fucking hell. Don't do this to me. Don't bloody do this to me. Mate, why are they taking so long? It's a mile offside. Fucking hell. Who's on VAR? Stevie Wonder? Come on, mate. It's a bloody miles off. How are they taking so long? Fucking hell. Just get on with it. Said you love VAR. I love VAR. What? They're giving the goal. How? How? Oh, there's a bloody idiot behind him. What are you doing playing hide and seek? What's he doing? Where's he come from? Are you having a laugh? Who's the dickhead at the back playing hide and seek? Oh, I don't fucking believe this. Where's that pillock come from? I can't believe it. How have they won this game? This is what happens when you play on Thursday night. Too much football. That's the last time I ever have any sympathy. I just fucking believe it. And that's the final whistle as well. How have they won that game? How have they won that game? Oh, what a shame. I don't have to do a match reaction because we're live in 15 minutes. Just don't. Just don't. I don't know. I tell you what. I don't know how in some ways, you've got to praise them for winning it because I don't know how they've won it. They played so shit. Danny on the gas says, see you on Thursday next season. What, United? Mate, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be very worried about how shit you are. I don't know. I wouldn't be giving it that. You've got to come to Old Trafford. I feel like Kevin Keegan here. You'll give it. I tell you what, we're in this fight. You've got to come to Old Trafford, and I tell you what, I will love it. I will bloody love it if we get Champions League football and you end up playing Thursday night football now, Danny on the gas. I will love it. I will love it if we're in the Champions League and you're playing Thursday night football now. Absolutely. Oh well. Look, if he's onside, he's onside. You can't argue about it. I just thought when the handball was given, and look, actually, I've calmed down a little bit now. If we're being honest, and you should always try to be honest, even though I feel not like being honest, the first goal should have been given. That's ridiculous. If that had finished 0-0, it would have been great for us, but that goal should have been given. You can't not give a goal because somebody blasts it against somebody's back. It is what it is. Right, I'm going to go and calm down. So close, but so far. I'm back with you in 15 minutes. It's the North London Derby, so I need to go and calm down, and then we're going to sit and watch the game of the weekend. But look, Forest win, Forest lose, Liverpool win. I think Forest just ran out of, played Thursday night. I think they ran out of steam second half, didn't they? But I don't know where Liverpool's steam was, but they found it at the end. Thank you everybody for watching. No, look, honestly, I'm not pissing about. I think the McAllister goal should have been given. I don't know how you rule that out for handball when the ball gets blasted against somebody. I mean, you don't know whether it's hitting your elbow, your back, or your arse, do you? It makes no bloody difference. So, anyway, I'll see you in about 15 minutes. Thanks for watching. Oh, shit. What have I done here? Oh, everything's going wrong now.